welcome back to Live at the Roxy on this Wednesday, December 14th. As you know, if you are here right now, we are live every single or maybe you don't know. We're live every day for all of December because this month is proving to be, and we knew it might be, an extremely difficult month for a lot of different people. December is the holiday times, and it's so weird to say that of all December because the holidays really like Christmas is a day, bro. Hanukkah is 8. Kwanzaa, I believe, is 7. But it's a whole month. The holiday season is a whole fucking month. And it really is 2 months. And for people who are in loving, secure relationships, for people who are financially stable, for people who come from families that support them and love them for who they are, for people who are feeling fulfilled with what they do in their days, the holiday season might be beautiful, might be joyous, might be wonderful. It might be filled with joy from ear to ear, and that is fucking amazing. And we're so happy for you. Or for those of us who are alone for the holidays, for those of us who couldn't afford to be with our loved ones or don't have loved ones to be with, for those of us who are reassessing your year and your life choices and are feeling unfulfilled, for those of us who are single or in difficult relationships, for those of us who are struggling financially and maybe can't afford to get their loved one gifts or are worried about the roof over their heads. For many of us, myself included, this month is fucking hard and weighs on you like a brick on your chest. And it just seemingly doesn't stop for so many days. And so I wanted to make sure that I was here to give you guys a familiar face, a friendly face. That's me, friendly, all month. So it is the 14th, and we've been here 14 days in a row. And by the way, it's totally acceptable and fine if you are both things. Maybe part of the holiday season feels fucking great for you, and part of it feels like ass. And that's okay. Maybe part of you are dealing with loss outside of the holiday season, and it just so happens to be the holidays, and it's exacerbated by that. And I get it. And it's tough. So we are here. Speaking of being tough, the two things that I woke up to this morning, one of them I woke up to, and the other one happened after I was at work. The first thing being that today is a 10-year anniversary, I guess is the word, of Sandy Hook. And just feels like such little progress has been made that it's alarming. And that was just weighing so heavily on my soul today, looking at social media and seeing, I mean, it was Biden, and then it was Kamala, and then it was Nancy Pelosi, and then it was all the politicians putting out their political statement, or it shouldn't be political, but their statement. And all of the first part of everything kind of read the same, and then they deviated a little bit. But it starts with 10 years ago, 26 Newtown families said goodbye to their loved ones for the last time. 20 first graders and 6 educators died at the hands of a lone gunman. We still struggle to fathom such loss, but in this darkness, may we find the strength to finish the work left undone. And it's that last part that makes me so sad because we just haven't done right by these kids. We haven't done right by the adults. We haven't done right by our people. And by our people, I mean the people of the United States, but more so than that, I mean the people of the world. Anybody here, anybody on this soil who exists and we are not protecting their life. And then, yeah, I saw Kamala Harris. Sandy Hook is a tragedy we'll never forget. And then, the initial tweet that she had, she retweeted what it was that Joe Biden said. And then she said 10 years ago today, 20 first graders and 6 educators were killed at Sandy Hook Elementary School. 26 families and the entire Newtown community still feel that unthinkable pain and unimaginable loss every day. Let us continue to honor their lives with action to end gun violence. And it's like at some point we see people in power be like, we need to act. And it's at some point like, I feel like it's falling on deaf ears because it's been 10 years since that incident, which was by no means the first school shooting and certainly was not the last. And what have we done? What have we done since then to enact change or protect our people? What have we done? I'm going to go ahead and say seemingly nothing. Yeah, it's just very disheartening. And then later on, I was working and pulled out my phone again and I saw that Twitch was trending. And I was like, huh, what's going on with Twitch? And then I saw that it was the person, not the company, and that Twitch, who is like been such a bright light in this crazy entertainment industry, had shot himself in a hotel at 40 years old, leaving behind his wife and 2 children, a son and a daughter. And you just it's like everything feels equally tragic, whether guns are taking people's lives, you're using a gun to take your own life, the state of the world is causing you to be so depressed or whatever is going on that you can't be here anymore. It's all just fucking awful, awful. And I understand that we can't just do a whole show today on just how fucking depressing life is. But sometimes, instead of hiding from it, instead of running from it, instead of talking about entertainment or my favorite shows or the happy things that are going on, which I do all the time, and it is good to be able to still have that joy and love and happiness in our lives, but sometimes we have to stop and feel that hurt. And I feel like we don't get to often anymore because what I had to do after seeing those 2 things was put on my big girl pants, get ready, and go film. So I drove to Christian's studio and I filmed the big thing. And then here I am, and I'm filming live at the Roxy. And the girls are going to be here in 10 minutes. And we're going to do a several hour meeting and we're going to sign our calendars and we're going to send them out. And we are going to then tape a show from 6 to 8. And we're going to talk about Avatar and movies and things that are fun for us. And they do matter. They matter and they keep us sane. And by that time that they leave, it will be 9 or 10, which means that I'll have been working since 8. So I'll have spent 13 hours or more on like distractions and work and things. And that's why today on this show, I just was like, this is sometimes we have to stop and think about what the fuck is going on with our planet, because how are we supposed to fight or work to change things if we don't let them penetrate us? And sometimes I really feel like a lot of people these days don't let things penetrate them, and it all kind of runs together. I saw somebody tweet something along the lines of, it took me a minute to remember which one Sandy Hook was. And I don't think that they meant it insultingly or offensively, although it probably is. But I understood what they were saying in terms of there's just so many fucking shootings. There's so many fucking shootings. And sometimes things start to blur because it's just so often. So anyway, better to feel things fully and wholly and feel them together as opposed to feel them alone, because this is none of our individual issues. This is all of our issues as a collective, but we do create this collective. And so, and so, yeah. And so in regards to Twitch, I just feel like it is the age old tale that people always say, but he was so happy. I've been at the same event as Twitch several times since I've moved out here. And I just feel like he radiated love and happiness in a way that was truly made today shocking, because even a couple days ago, he posted a dance video that was so fun. and looking at footage of him dancing with his son and looking at past things of him on Ellen. And so you think you can dance. And he was so gifted and so warm and so full of love and seemingly joy that it's like, how could that be a man who, at 40 years old with a wife and 2 kids, goes into a hotel and shoots himself? People have been tweeting all day and posting all day, check on your friends, even the ones who smile. It feels trivial to say that, but of course, that's something we need to be doing. I can't wrap my brain around what was going on in his mind and his heart and his soul and his day-to-day, what was going on that led us to this point. So I hope you're all doing okay right now. And I know you're probably not, or maybe you are, and that's fucking great. And then even more reason to check on people. But here I am checking on you and happy to, of course, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. Thank you for the support as I am here all month. But for today, I just want to know how you guys are doing. You feel free to send it in there or just in the chat. What's going on with you? Sometimes people just need to voice something. Whatever that fucking thing is. So luckily, we've created a great space here with the Rockstar community and a good place to do that. Let's see what's going on in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. That's my name. Please wear it out. Apollo in here. He said, look out for your loved ones out there. I wonder what would compel somebody to do that when you have kids, but I don't know. This industry is rough too. It shows people up and splits them out. It shows people up and spits them out. Maybe chews people up and spits them out. As someone who works in the industry, I think about how to be different. He was the guy that dances, makes goofy faces, and just jumps for the camera. Part of that has to be soul crushing, especially when you want more. No one is that chipper all the time. I feel like society needs to relearn the things that matter in life. I don't know. Paulo, on this comment, I think the thing that you got the most right is that you don't know. You don't know. And you're making a lot of assumptions here. And we don't know. What would compel somebody to do that when you have kids? You don't know. I don't know either. I don't know. We don't know what's going on in somebody's mind or what had happened, what led up to this, what somebody's mental health looks like. We just don't know. We also don't know when you say part of that has to be soul crushing. We don't know that either. We don't know how he was feeling. We don't know. Maybe he loved his job. We don't know that he wanted something more. We know he was wildly successful. We don't know. And unfortunately, taking your life means that nobody ever really will know what's going on. There, of course, will be an autopsy. Who knows if we see it, but what was going on in his body prior to taking his own life, those are things that might give his family some clarity. I don't know if there was a note of any kind, but you never really know. You never really know what was happening with somebody unless they're here and they can speak on it. Oh my gosh. Just fucking horrible news. Horrible. Okay. Jake says, I don't have my normal seasonal depression, which is nice. That is nice. But I wouldn't say I'm great, kind of just even keel. Sometimes that is what we can hope for. Sometimes being even keel is not good enough, but like better than nothing. I'm glad you don't have your normal seasonal depression. That doesn't mean that can't change an instant. I think that's the word. Just keep checking in on yourself and how you're feeling and all of that. because you might be fine one day and not the next, or vice versa. So just keep talking about it with your loved ones and whatnot. Also reading whatever it is you guys have to say in here. Brittany Parker says true words have never been spoken, Rock. So shocked and heartbroken. Manny says getting a bit better now after dealing with COVID. Oh, my dude. Everybody has COVID again. And it's like I'm full blown out here living right now. I'm sure a lot of you guys are too. I went to the Celtics Lakers game last night. It was fucking awesome. It was awesome. I went with one of my closest friends from my hometown, which was amazing that we got to go do that. That was great. And then, what was I don't even know where I was going with that. I don't know where I was. So I'm fully living. I did that. I went to Disney. I've been like seeing so many people. And of course, I'm washing my hands. I'm taking my zinc and my vitamin C, doing what I can, but I'm fully vaxxed and boosted, and I've had the vid twice. But it just seems like, how do you, the flu and the vid and the RSV and the stuff. Everybody gets sick around this time. Ryan says nobody knows what drives people to do anything. We can spend our entire lives dedicating ourselves to what drives people to commit horrible acts. Yeah. Yeah, we can think about it forever and we just won't know. Mark Jason Ollie says, I don't have COVID, so that's good, but there's other stuff crushing me. What's going on, friend? Joseph says, I'm still wearing mask. I don't trust folks. That's great. That's great. For most of my stuff, I can't because I'm at work and on camera, but if you can and that's helpful, then please do. Alex says, normalize talking about your mental health and asking for help when needed would be a wonderful thing. Yeah, I think we're trying as a society to get there. Mental health is at least a topic of conversation as opposed to when I was growing up. I don't even remember anybody using the phrase mental health. I didn't even know that was a thing, and let alone years before me. Okay. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. Any other questions, comments, concerns, support, anything else you want to share? Would love to hear from you. Thank you to Apollo for being our sole Streamlabber of the day, even though you don't know. Yeah, even though you don't know. Michelle says, read my post. What post? She said, Jake, would you ask Roxy to read my post? Anniversary of Newtown, let us pray for days of peace. Okay, I read it. Yeah, I don't really believe in prayer. It's not that I don't believe in prayer. I think if you believe in prayer, then it can be powerful, and I hope you do that. For me, I feel like thoughts and prayer for Newtown is not helpful. Action is helpful. Action is going to keep people alive. Even for people who do believe in God, I hope you believe God helps people who help themselves. And what are we doing to help ourselves? What are we doing to help? Mark seems confused. Twitch is a person. I don't know how large he is in the UK. Twitch is a very famous dancer here who killed himself in a hotel today at 40 years old. So that is what's happening and what we were talking about on the show. Oh boy. And then he says cost of living, energy, right? Price rises in general, housing stuff, just crushing at the moment. I feel you, Mark. Losing another job this December was like fucking gut wrenching for me. That call-in job was really keeping me afloat, and that's brutal. And then I know that most of my jobs are taking off right now. Like I was supposed to work on Tuesday for the big thing, but they called me off of the show, which means I haven't been on in weeks. And it's like just so rough. Only Stupid Answers is going to be taking a few weeks off. Also, the holiday times, if you're freelance, if you don't work, you don't get paid. And it's like the bills continue to pile up. They get even more because it's so fucking cold here. So the heat is fucking running 24/7. Yeah. Just like feel you. It's a very stressful time. very stressful time for a lot of people. I'm so with you. Ryan Payne says, on days like this, I think one of my favorite quotes from Doctor Who, every life is a pile of good things and bad things. The good things don't always soften the bad things, but vice versa. The bad things don't spoil the good things or make them unimportant. That's so true. And I love that. I can't believe Doctor Who is one of the shows that I never got into. I feel like I would love it, but that is so true. If something good happens, like last night, going to the Celtics game and going to the Celtics game and being able to spend time with a friend of mine and having that awesome victory in overtime. It was like there's a lot of shit going on right now, but I just truly I felt really happy to be there. And sometimes those things like that feel trivial and whatever it is, but it was really lovely to not let the bad things spoil the good. And nice to catch up with my friend and to watch the Celtics in town. And they had a Bill Russell tribute that I was so happy to see in person because I loved him. Love him. Yeah. All right. I got to get to my World Girls meeting. They will be here any minute now. So I am going to go. Thank you to Apollo and Ryan for being our Streamlabsers of the day. Thank you to everybody for joining today. Oh, we got another one from Christian Hardesty. Thank you, Christian, for that support. He said, "Hey, Rox, been doing better than usual this holiday season." Fuck yeah. I love to hear that. That brings me a lot of joy. Thanks to having friends to hang with. Still having some intrusive thoughts every once in a while, but I shake it off as best as I can. Glad you had fun at the Celtics game. Hope you're well. Yeah, those intrusive thoughts, it's impossible, it feels, to never have them. It's how we deal with them. And I'm so happy that you've got friends to hang with. You've got us, you've got the world friends. So much love to all of you guys, and thank you for that support. And thank you to everybody in here. Looking at all of you guys, here's to looking at you, kid, and just feeling very lucky that we have each other. Another Streamlabs coming through from Anonymous. Sometimes I don't know if I'm okay now. Like, I don't know if the suicidal thoughts that I used to have are still there or not, because I can still remember them and nothing feels like they've changed. But passively, I don't think them. Like, are they repressed or gone? I don't know that you'll ever know the answer to that question. So I don't know that that specific question is worth your time. Now, of course, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a doctor, and talking to somebody with a degree can be extremely helpful because they are more aware of how to answer that question in a educated manner. But taking my best stab at it, I think that, liking it to addiction for a second. They say once an addict, always an addict, right? Um, and that doesn't mean that you're drinking, and it doesn't mean that you always want to drink. Say that the addiction is alcohol, but it is part of you. And I think somebody with suicidal tendencies, um, even if it's in the past, things have a tendency to rear their ugly heads at the worst of times. Now, that doesn't mean it ever does again, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't. I think more importantly, finding tools to keep in your tool shed and guarding yourself with as many tools as possible so that you can fight against those thoughts if and when they do appear. And some of those tools are finding communities and finding resources, talking to somebody, finding things that you love and are passionate about. Being, like I said, as part of a community that matters. So Manny says we need Dr. Drea for that one. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, much love, Manny and Michelle and Mohammed, Sally, Andrew, Kate, Ryan, Mark, Joseph, Brittany, to Still Bill and Alex and Jake, my amazing mod, and the third turd, and Sally and Jamal and Mike and everybody who is in here live with us. I appreciate you. I will be back tomorrow. I'll be here tonight for the World Girls, and then I'll be back tomorrow. Ash just got here for sign off. Nice. Yeah. Well, welcome to the show, Ash. Peace out. Stay safe, stay sane, put down the toilet seat and live. We don't want those buffoons. Don't trump the Holocaust. Justice for all the people who lost their lives due to excessive force. My body, my choice, wherever you're on the rainbow, we love you. We stand with the woman of Iran. Golden sparkles, Glenn, we are thinking about you, thinking of the holiday season. Boy, if you got a rough hand, you are a fighter, though, a Zen fighter. And all of our energy is going towards a recovery for you, a swift, full recovery. Okay, much love. Later.